Hey guys, Red Tech here with another video, and today, just as you may have already noticed, I'm not using a video or pictures. I'm just using a background as a broadcast background, so we'll get straight into it. Okay, so I've worked in technology for 7 or 8 years now. I've messed around with it, and I've had fun with it, and I've figured it out and played around with it as you do. But I've always considered myself, and people have always seen me as a Microsoft fanboy or supporter. But I'd like to say, I've finally come to the realization that Microsoft and Apple play equal parts in the tech industry. Apple fanboys may say otherwise, Microsoft fanboys may say otherwise, but see it from a perspective from someone looking into the industry, right? Apple makes premium feeling products. They feel nice to hold. They are nice to look at. The operating system, the software, is nice to look at. And Microsoft focuses on the software. It just works. And Apple's always had the idea of, we make it this way. This is how it is. Some people like that. Some people like it basic and simple. But when people don't want it basic and simple, they go to Microsoft and they say, okay, I need something I can run a business with. So it's just, this is how the industry is. I mean, they both play equal parts. Without Microsoft, you don't get Office, you don't get Xbox, you don't get any of that. But without Apple, you don't get the iPhone, and you don't get innovations, you don't... What I'm trying to say here is, it's not a choice between one or the other. It's what's practical for you. I'm going to stop taking sides in this argument. I've grown sick and tired of it. You don't need to back up Apple. You don't need to back up Microsoft. But it's all personal preference. That's what it is. If you want simple, basic stuff, Apple. I gave an iPhone to my grandma, and she just knew how to use it. An iPad, and she just knew how to use it. I gave her a Toshiba laptop, and she had no idea what to do with it. Which just goes to show that Apple is for the simple-minded. The people who don't want to have business machines, who don't want to have to set everything up in order to talk to each other and coordinate computer to computer. They just want it to switch it on, out of the box, works. Simple as that. So, you might call me a hypocrite here, but I'm finally going to say Apple has an important part in the industry, Microsoft has an important part in the industry, and I would like all those Apple fanboys and all those Microsoft fanboys to take a step back and think about it. Do you want something simple? Do you want something complicated? You will find that Apple has a relevant part in the future and the success of the tech industry. So, why fight over it? I mean, personally, I don't like iPhone. That's my opinion. I have an Android. Some people like iPhones. It's what they like. It's what they've always known. Some people aren't comfortable with moving away from what they know. But Apple has made innovations, like a graphical user interface. That wasn't heard of before Apple talked to Xerox and went to their Park facility and coordinated with people. They talked to people, human to human. They didn't negotiate. They didn't go, here's $1 billion, do something for me. They talked. They worked it out. It's not always business. But going back to the point, they're both relevant in today's society. They're both relevant. Microsoft does some gaming consoles, Apple doesn't. But without either one, the remaining one would fall. Without Apple, Microsoft would lose some customer base, less customers for Office, lose revenue. Without Microsoft, Apple loses sales because because some people do buy them for work, which means if Microsoft goes Office 365 not available on Mac. In some aspects, Apple and Microsoft work hand in hand. So fanboys out there, this is a message to you. Take a step back, think about it, and look into the industry, but with no preference. Just look into it. Like, clear your mind and look into the industry with no preference as to who does what, who does who. Okay? Just think about it. Red Tech out.